What's up, everyone? This is episode 2 of the Triple Option podcast. This is probably the best part of the year because we are 2 days away from kickoff. I'm with Chase and Mike. How are you boys feeling that we're 2 days away from football?
Fired up.
Can't wait. So excited.
This is a great matchup we got. We got Kansas City and Houston. But basically just a rundown of what this podcast is going to be like. We're going to go through every single game, and we're going to give our predictions with the spread. Unlike last year, we just did our game predictions, but with games like Miami and like the Jets, it's kind of like you got to put a little bit more interest into it. So we're going to do the spreads this time. Chase, you want to start us off with the first matchup?
Yeah, all right. First matchup, Houston, Kansas City. We already mentioned that. Right now, the spread's looking at Kansas City -9. Me, I'm going Kansas City, both going to win and hit the spread. I don't know, week one, everything can happen. But from what I've seen, the Texans only got worse, and the Chiefs stayed the same, if not got better with age. What about you guys?
This is me right now. The last time I saw these two teams play, I saw Kansas City scored 7 consecutive touchdown drives. And fun fact, it was Houston, Kansas City. I don't know what week it was. It was in the regular season last year. I actually picked Houston, and they ended up winning, which is a major upset.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that again. Usually teams that win Super Bowls are fired up for week one. So we all know Kansas City is going to be pretty energetic regardless of no fans. But, yeah, I just think they're more talented. Offense is going to go crazy, and I'll take the -9 any day of the week. What about you, Mike?
I don't like handing out a large amount of points week one. I'm not too sure what to expect. I know Kansas City is definitely the better team here. I just don't think they'll win by more than 9. So I'm going Houston with the points. I think Watson will linger around, and even if Kansas City gets up to like a big lead, I think they take the foot off the gas pedal and Houston inches back and covers. So I like Houston +9.
So this is the thing, though. No DeAndre Hopkins is going to be a new-look offense. I don't have a lot of confidence in Brandon Cooks. I do like David Johnson, though. People are sleeping on him. He's had a couple of rough years with, like, injury and bad luck. But, yeah.
He's just getting old, in my opinion. You know what I mean? He's past his prime, but you never know. You never know. Watson's a good player, so we'll see what happens. What's the next matchup? All right, Miami, New England. We got spread in New England -6.5. I'm going New England's going to win, no question. But I think Miami can cover the spread, in my opinion. 6.5, granted it's a touchdown difference, but it's like Miami got better. New England,
Yep.
I don't want to say this, we kind of got worse, but and last year we lost to Miami at home, but we're gonna win. You never get it. You never bet against Bill when it comes to winning and losing. This isn't money line. This is spread. 6.5 is kind of steep, I think. So, I'm gonna give Miami the spread on this one.
This is tough because you have no idea what to expect. I mean, the Patriots offense is going to be like I can't tell you. Obviously, the constant is Julian Edelman, but he's getting older. You can't really rely on him too much. He was banged up last year. You can just see he was in pain. But, yeah, Cam Newton doesn't have that great of an arsenal. N'Keal Harry's okay. No Sanu. He was just garbage.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Harry's going to be gross this year. He just needed a quarterback to throw the ball in long. But yeah,
I hope so. I know Damian Harris, I think he has like a wrist injury, hand injury, so he's not going to be playing.
Blows.
So I'm expecting it's going to be like read option with Cam Newton. But another thing, you don't really want Cam Newton running too much. He's I think he's finally on the right track to becoming healthy, and I don't really want him tucking the ball and taking big hits. Miami secondary, they got 2 good corners now, Howard and Byron Jones. So what's the spread again? 6.5?
6.5.
Dude, I think it's gonna be a close game. I don't know. I think it's gonna be like 3-point game max.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the Patriots, but it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be 6.5. What about you, Mike?
I'll take the Pats cover. I think they're gonna come out swinging. I think Cam Newton goes off, statement game. All this talk about Patriots being out of it just disappears, and I think Cam Newton has a statement game here. I like the Patriots to cover.
All right, I like it.
All right.
Next
matchup. We got Seattle at Atlanta, and this game is so there's 3 games that I was observing, and I'm like, these are guaranteed locks. Throw the house on these. Spread is so again, Seattle at Atlanta, no fans. Spread right now is Seattle -1.5. Hammer Seattle on both money line and spread. That is just my opinion. I think the Seahawks got better. Obviously, so did the Falcons. But granted, we're going off, week one, you never know. I think this is ridiculously low that the Seahawks are supposed to only win by 2 for the spread to cover. But I'm going Seattle both. You guys go.
Dude, honestly, like, I like Atlanta. I do like Atlanta. I think Todd Gurley's going to have a sneaky good year. I feel like he's going to start to come back. Obviously, arthritis, don't really mess around with that. But I think he's going to have a good year. I got to tell you, the Seattle front seven, their defensive line and their offensive line is not good. I just think Russell Wilson's going to be running for his life. And I don't think Pete Carroll has done a lot in the offseason. Obviously, Jamal Adams, that's a great addition. But you don't really – I mean, strong safety is good to have, but they really need a guy up front besides Bobby Wagner.
You know, he ain't a J.J. Watt. He ain't a –
yeah, I mean, he's an outstanding player.
Aaron
but
Donald. Yeah, great. You don't get us wrong, but like look at Devin McCourty. Look at all those guys have always been elite. It's like you don't build your team around a safety.
Yeah, I just think offensive line is the biggest concern. And I do like Russell Wilson. I love DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett's okay. But I'm going to take Seattle on both as well. But I got to tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta like upsets them. I mean, like I think Atlanta, that their offense is really explosive. They have a lot of good targets. Great speed, and you have Todd Gurley. So when you're in the red zone, you can just feed him. You'll just make a man miss or just bulldoze up the middle. So yeah, I'm gonna take Seattle for both, but I do like Atlanta a lot.
What I like Seattle -1.5 here. I think in like a different non-COVID environment, maybe Atlanta can grab the dub, but in like a no fans in attendance, I don't know. I think it's just gonna be a better environment for Seattle, and I think they get the job done.
Wasn't Atlanta the team that got caught with the fans?
Yeah.
The crowd noise.
Yeah, the crowd noise. you know damn well they're not doing any crowd noise there. All right, next game we got Jets at Buffalo. Buffalo -6.5. I'm gonna keep this one short, boring game. Buffalo's gonna do both. They're gonna win and they're gonna cover the spread.
Just because the Jets are garbage.
I don't even know what the Jets are doing. You know what I mean? Buffalo is getting better by the day. Every year they're making money moves. They got Stephon Diggs. I mean, that defense is a year old. I love Sean McDermott. Like I said last week, Buffalo is my second favorite team, and that is crazy because I'm a diehard Pats fan. But, hey, Buffalo's doing both.
So this is my thing. I thought, okay, the Jets, their best player was Jamal Adams, hands down. And now that he's gone, you ask yourself, who's the best player on the Jets? And you're like, Le'Veon, like he's had a terrible year. He doesn't have a lot of help. Their best receivers, Jamison Crowder, like they're kind of in a weird spot. They want to develop Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold doesn't really have a lot of help. Obviously, Le'Veon helps, but they drafted some good offensive linemen, some huge offensive linemen that might come into play. But Buffalo's the better team on paper. The only position that the Jets have an advantage for is running back. So yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo. And what's the spread? 6.5?
6.5.
Yeah, that's easy for me.
Easy.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of went back and forth here. 6.5 is a decent amount of points, but yeah, you bring up some good points. Jets are pretty bad. Sam Darnold just doesn't have enough help around him. Nothing bad about him. I think he will be a good quarterback when the time comes. But right now, the Jets are just not good anywhere, really. Their offensive line's not good. They don't really have receivers. Their defense isn't great. Yeah, I think Buffalo covers. I'll take Buffalo -6.5.
Good call.
All right, next we got Chicago at Detroit, and it's Detroit -3 is the spread. This one I was like, I could go back and forth because, Trubisky, Detroit, both really terrible things right there back to back. Detroit did get better. I think Detroit got way better than Chicago did. But I don't know what their secondary is looking like. So I went Chicago's going to win and obviously cover the spread as it would be +3. That's just me. They're like, oh, Trubisky is better than Foles. Yeah, probably. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that hard to be better than regular season Nick Foles. But, yeah, that's just, that defense, same. I think the same is with Buffalo. That defense got a year older and I think a year better than that.
This is a tricky game. I mean, obviously Chicago.
It's a hard game to pick.
Exactly. Quarterback play in Chicago is a concern for me. I don't have a lot of faith in Trubisky. If this was Nick Foles, give me Chicago. But Detroit, this is kind of a weird game. You don't really know what to expect. Obviously, the constant is Khalil Mack. Chicago is a really good defense. Detroit, Matt Stafford had a great start to the year last year. Then he got banged up. Kenny Golladay is a good receiver. They have a good running back committee. But, yeah, I'm going to go Chicago just because of their defense. And I think Tariq Cohen's going to have a big game since Montgomery's out just because I have him in fantasy and I need him to do well. So I'm going to go Chicago. So what is it, Detroit -3?
Yeah, Detroit -3.
So yeah, so I'm taking Chicago for both. Yep. Mikey, what's up?
Yeah, I love Chicago +3. I think it's my favorite play on here. Yeah, give me Chicago with the points. I think Mitch Trubisky's a good quarterback. Don't give up on him yet. I think bounce back year for him. Matt Nagy's a great coach. They have that good defense. Yeah, I like the Bears to win this game outright, and might as well take the +3 as well to get some insurance on that. But yeah, love this play.
All right, Green Bay at Minnesota, and this one's also interesting. Minnesota -3. What I did was Green Bay both. Strictly, do I think Minnesota's better? Yes. Do I think Green Bay's better? Yeah, I don't know. Like, you mean week 1. My thing is field goal, it's a field goal game regardless it washes. But I think it's not going to be a field goal game. I think it's going to be – I'm going – sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but, I think it's Green Bay's going to win, and, of course, they're going to cover if they're the underdogs, strictly because they just went to the NFC Championship game a year ago. I don't think they lose week 1. In Minnesota, with fans, they will lose, in my opinion. No fans, I think it's this one's – you just got to go on history. It's Green Bay and Minnesota. I'm going Green Bay both.
Now, this is going to be a tough divisional game. Obviously, they both play each other pretty tough. Minnesota, I've never really been a fan of them winning big games. And obviously, early on in the season, this is one of those games where you don't think of it as super significant. But then down the line, you're like, damn, that week 1 game, if we won, we would have been a lot better shape for the playoffs. But I'm going to take Green Bay, not because I love them. I just think Rodgers, he always seems to get it done against these close battles against Chicago and the Vikings and the Lions. But yeah, I'm going to take Green Bay for both. But I do like Kirk Cousins. I'm a big Kirk Cousins guy. They lost Stephon Diggs. I do like Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook if he stays healthy. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be a wild card team, and they'll contest for the division. But week 1 is a little bit tricky. I'm just going to take the better quarterback and I like Devontae Adams as well. So, yeah, I'm going to take Green Bay for both.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Green Bay +3. Nothing really to add. Aaron Rodgers is much better than Kirk Cousins. It's where I'm at here. So, give me Packers +3.
All right, this is the other one. Like I said I had 3 guaranteed locks. This one, Philly at Washington football team. Spread is Philly -6. That is a crime. That is so low. I took Philly on both. Philly's the better team. Granted, Washington has that gross front four. I don't know the linebackers take them or leave them, but
yeah,
that's a touchdown to win, and it covers. I'll take that 13 days out of the week.
For me personally, I saw a game last year, and it was actually a very competitive game. It was kind of a surprise through the first half, and it was Washington against the Eagles. And so Washington's just plays them tough, but I'm not going to make a case for Washington at all. I think the Eagles are good. They're kind of losing some key pieces. They're getting the injury bug already.
Darius Slay, though.
I do like Darius Slay a lot. But, yeah, this is not much to talk about. I'm going to take the Eagles for both. But I wouldn't be surprised if late in the game they need a field goal to cover. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles.
Yeah, I like the Eagles here as well. I don't know what they're doing. I saw they cut LeBlanc. I was pretty
good player.
But then they re-signed him within an hour. So he's back.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, back in Philly. But I was shocked. He was playing so well in their playoff runs.
Yeah, he was gross. He played when he was on the Pats team. He was gross.
Yeah. I like the Eagles here. I also agree that 6 points is on the lower side, in my opinion. So, yeah, slam Philadelphia -6.
For sure.
All right. This is the third and final Chase guarantee. Vegas at Carolina. Vegas -3 is the spread.
Dude,
running with Vegas -3. I think Vegas obviously going to win, and I think they're going to cover the spread.
Bold prediction. I think the Vegas running game is going to outperform Carolina's running game week 1. I think Josh Jacobs has a big game. I love Vegas's offensive line. I'm talking about just on the ground. Obviously, McCaffrey's going to catch a lot of passes out of the backfield.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for rushing yards, I'm taking Vegas, and I'm also going to take Vegas for both. I like John Gruden a lot. Carolina's kind of in a weird spot. Teddy Bridgewater played outstanding last year, filled in perfectly for Drew Brees, went 5-0. He's a great player. No, he's not great. He's a good player. But I'm not really excited about Carolina. I look at their roster, look at their team. Coaching staff has some upside, but I'm not like, wow, this team might do something. I'm just like, whatever. So, they're in a really tough division. I'm going to take Vegas for a good week 1 win.
I'll take Carolina with the points. I like Joe Brady. I think he's going to devise some nice game plan. I think Vegas is pretty bad. So good, friendly matchup for Carolina. They're also pretty bad, but I think they can get it done against Vegas. It's a decent matchup week 1, and CMC is really good. They got some good pieces to help out Bridgewater. So
who's the number 1 receiver? Is it Robbie Anderson?
It's
DJ Moore.
Yeah, he's solid.
I don't know how I forgot about DJ Moore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a forgettable player. So far, he's a forgettable player.
Yeah, no, he's good. He has some Steve Smith upside. I see it.
Yeah. All right, we got this is a interesting one. Not because of who's going to win, because it's obviously going to be Indianapolis. We got Indianapolis at Jacksonville, and spreads Indy -8. That is high. That is a high 8. But then I was thinking, so obviously Indiana's going to win, in my opinion. Colts, they got so good this year. But
that could be tricky.
Against Jacksonville, this is what I said. So I'm saying Indianapolis -8. Here's my logic. Who is on Jacksonville that can take over a damn game?
Minshew Mania. Easy.
Guys,
Next
you
question.
don't want a big Minshew Mania guy. You can watch all those.
Yeah, you're a Minshew Mania guy too.
Chase would not show up Minshew. Granted, Chark and Chenault are gonna be gross and will be gross. Who's their running back? I know they're have huge high praise for someone. I don't know what the O-line's like. Their defense.
They're in a tanking spot. They got rid of a lot of their pieces.
They're not because 8's big, but that's a touchdown, a field goal. And I've watched Pats games where, granted, they're the Pats, and they've smacked teams that are equal to them. And I think Indianapolis, they got better. Granted, they aren't the Pats, but Jacksonville they're looking like, my opinion is they look like the Browns from years ago. That's what the kind of season they're in for.
You know what happened to them? They went from probably the best defense in the league easily to now one of the worst in a very short period of time. I remember their secondary was nasty. Their front seven was nasty. They had good safeties. Now they're just abandoning ship, really. They want a high draft pick. I do like Minshew Mania a lot. I think Gardner Minshew's a good player. But you never know with the Colts either. I mean, great offensive line, that's going to be a constant. But Phillip Rivers, is he going to be good? T.Y. Hilton's obviously good. Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, they can run it on the ground. But, yeah, I'm going to take Indy, but I think it's going to be like a touchdown game. So I think I'm not going to take Indy -8, but I do pick them to win.
I'll take Indy -8. I think you got an interesting situation here with one team trying to win, the other team trying to lose. So I'm going to take the Indianapolis side. I think Rivers, a lot of questions out there whether he still got it. I think this is a good spot for him against Jacksonville to really prove that he can play still. And
come out of the gate hot.
Yeah, Jacksonville's just terrible. Minshew is no good. Their running back game is no good. Their defense is no good.
They're fighting words, Mike.
Good. Yeah, they're going 0-16. They're going to take Trevor Lawrence, and, yeah, they'll be back in no time.
Minshew's a phenomenal player. He's going to be great.
No, give me Blake Bortles.
I mean, yeah, when they traded away Ngakoue, it's like, great, who's going to rush for them? But, yeah. All right,
Minshew deserves Watson money. I'm kidding. Next one.
The amount of merchandise that man sells. All right, this one is a very hard game in my opinion, and I think Adam, you were the same as me. It's like, ooh, we got Cleveland at Baltimore. Baltimore -8. So
you want to start?
I went Baltimore's going to win, no question in my opinion, but I'm taking Cleveland spread because Cleveland's just a hot pile of garbage. Granted, I couldn't even tell you a single thing about their coaching, but dude, they're getting better. They're
a talented pile of garbage.
they're like, oh my, how are you guys so bad? The amount of time. I think Baker. This is his Blake Bortles year. This is his I gotta come out and play my heart out
for him. Yep.
I'm trying to that's to see like a touchdown, 7-point game. Cleveland covers. I'm taking that. I think that's a safer choice. That's all I have to say about that game. The Ravens obviously got better too, but
Listen, I really want the Browns to be competitive this game, and they were. I think they won they split last year, and the Browns looked good somehow. I don't know why, because the next couple of weeks they looked atrocious, but they looked good against Baltimore. Divisional game, so it's going to be close. I love Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That's probably my favorite 2 running back duo in the league.
So gross.
It's so good. Baker Mayfield's, you got to prove it. I mean, you're against a really tough Baltimore defense. The added Calais Campbell, their secondary is really good. They did lose Earl Thomas. Yeah, he's good. Earl Thomas, kind of a big loss, but like at the same time, I think they'll feel. Yeah, yes and no. That's exactly right. I'm going to take. You know what? I have a weird feeling in Cleveland. I'm not going to take Baltimore -8. I'm going to take Baltimore to win, but I have a feeling Baker Mayfield's going to keep it close, and I think Odell's going to catch a beautiful touchdown over Marlon Humphrey. It's weird. I just have a vision of this game. So yeah, there you go. But I do like the Browns this year. I just hope Baker just puts it together because he's a great locker room guy. I love his mentality and his attitude, but he just got to perform to back it up. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Baltimore wins, Cleveland +8. Cleveland's a very interesting team, very interesting personalities. I know Odell Beckham Jr. trending on Twitter today.
For the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. Yeah. Baker also had one of an incident similar to that during the offseason. I don't know. They're just fun to watch. I think this is like my second favorite game this week on the board. If I were to watch like any game out of the slate, this would be my number 2 pick behind New Orleans, Tampa. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what this Cleveland team can do. They replaced their head coach, and they just have so many weapons on offense. And they have a good team. So this is like it for Baker. They provided him the tools he needs. So let's see if he can get it done. And obviously on the other side, you have Lamar Jackson. Super fun to watch. So I think it'll be a close, exciting game.
Yep.
Yeah. At the end of the day, both teams got better. I think Cleveland got more better, but it's still, they're nowhere near the Ravens. But yeah. All right, next game we got Chargers at Cincinnati, and the spread is Chargers -3. So in my head, I was like, oh, Chargers -3, easy money. You know, we got Phillip Rivers going up against a rookie. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, he's on the Colts now. So I'm like, oh, can Tyrod do it? No Mike Williams.
It's gonna be
in my head. Yeah, sorry. I still got to stick with Chargers -3. I think it's safer because, you know, field goal game, Chargers win by a field goal, it washes. But I don't like, obviously, like, you know, Joe Burrow's gross, but that was college. Granted, he's old. What did Dak do? Dak was an old pick because he played 4 years of college. He came in and took the NFL by storm. Could Joe do that? Yes. But I just don't know anything about that defense. I don't know too much. I don't know how faithful that is. I don't know about that secondary. So I'm just gonna stick with the Chargers -3. You know, they got some weapons, and that D line is scary.
Thing about the
secondary, for that matter.
Yeah. Dude, the Chargers secondary is really, really good. They added Chris Harris. That secondary is great. Their pass rush is going to be good. They have everything except for obviously quarterback, and their offensive line is like okay. It's okay. Like it's not like great.
It's above average. You know what I mean?
It's like right on the line for average. I do like obviously Cincinnati is way more exciting now with Joe Burrow and AJ Green coming back. So I want Cincinnati to win, but yeah, I think the Chargers are going to win. I just feel like it's a tough task to have your quarterback with no preseason. It's like, hey, Joe Burrow, game 1, you're going to be throwing passes to receivers who you had some time with, a minimized offseason prepare, but you're going to be targeting guys who are going to be covered by Chris Harris and Casey Hayward and King. And you know what I mean? No Derwin James is the big loss, but yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers and -3 Chargers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that as well. Chargers -3. Their personnel is good. They have a good team. Tyrod Taylor, he's gone in the playoffs before. He will just do what he has to do. Won't turn over the ball a lot. So they'll be fine. Their defense is stacked too. And yeah, like you said with Joe Burrow, no preseason coming in. That's a big adjustment. So
yep.
Yeah, I'll take Chargers -3.
Chargers would be a Super Bowl team if they had Minshew. Lock it in.
The other thing about the Bengals is so we know Chargers got that gross defensive line. We saw that video of Burrow running for his life at the first Bengals practice because that O-line's garbage.
It's a really bad offensive line.
Yeah. All right, here we go. This is the big one. This is the big game. Tampa at
Let's go.
New Orleans. And it's a very interesting
best
spread.
game
New Orleans,
of the week
3.5.
by far.
New Orleans, 3.5. I'm saying New Orleans is going to win. I'm going New Orleans is going to win, but I'm going to say Tampa Bay covers the spread. I think it's coming down to a field goal. And granted, it's 3.5, so field goal doesn't wash it. It wins it for Tampa Bay.
So I've seen Tom Brady since the day, actually not the day I was born, but my whole life I've had Tom Brady as my quarterback. And if there's one thing I've seen Tom Brady clutch up to Kembrell Tompkins against the Saints. I've seen Tom Brady go to the Superdome, light him up with Burkhead. And that's the year we had Brandon Cooks and Gronk came back from injury. Brady just plays good against the Saints. That's one of the teams that's like, oh, they're good. But Brady's just like, he kind of doesn't really have their number, but he always comes up good. He always performs really well. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I think Tom Brady is going to have a Peyton Manning 2013, 2014-esque season. I feel like when he's locked in and he's all fired up, it's must-see TV. I'm going to take Tampa. I know New Orleans is really good. New Orleans they've been a contender for the past 4 years. They just got to put it together and just win those really close games.
It's always something.
It's always something. Like they just got to just win. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to take Tampa. What's the spread again? It's New Orleans
3.5. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to take that. I think Tampa
I
wins
took Tampa for the spread. Yeah.
I say Tampa wins by 10 plus.
That's
10
bold.
plus.
All right, let's hear it, Mike.
Bold pick. Yeah. I think it's a 50-50 game, so I'm just taking the points. So Tampa Bay plus 3.5. If it was New Orleans plus 3.5, I would have taken New Orleans plus 3.5.
Exactly.
But, yeah, 3.5 points. Thank you very much. I'll take Tom Brady.
I'll take Tampa Bay, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. And one last thing about Tampa and Brady. How old was Manning when he had that 2014-15, whatever year it was, season that was gross? Was he like 37, 36?
He was up there. That was his last amazing year.
Yeah, so you say up there? Brady's 43. Brady's 43.
He is the TB12 method inventor.
Yeah, hey, he does it. I'll believe it when I see it, but I'm on team Brady's not so hot. But yeah. So now this is another interesting game. Arizona at San Francisco. San Francisco -7. I'm thinking San Francisco is going to win and they're going to cover. Super Bowl participants. Arizona, they're out there. Arizona's getting better. I just can't. It's the same thing with Kansas City. I just can't root against. It's the same thing with Green Bay. I just can't root against a team that made it far in the playoffs against a team that clearly didn't do well.
You were high on them since the beginning of last year, so they have a special place in your heart.
7's a dangerous spread, but granted, they win by 7 at washes. It doesn't matter. I just think it's more likely San Francisco smacks them than it's a close game.
I think it's going to be a close game. You're comparing a team that's just one stop away, just smart running the ball, play calling for winning a Super Bowl. Like they should have won that game. So you're going from a team who's like really Super Bowl ready. If they win up and they get there, they're a good team, versus a team who they have a bunch of new pieces and are young. They have a really good quarterback with great potential, but they have no experience. You know what I mean? So I do think San Francisco is going to win, but I don't think it's going to be by a lot. I feel like every time Arizona plays Seattle or San Fran, it's always closer than people think. And
divisional game. Yeah.
It is a divisional game. I like Hopkins. I'm not super high on him as like a top 2, top 3 receiver, but I am high on. He's a good player, and I love Kenyon Drake this year. I think he fits in perfectly as like a 3-down back and catch it out of the backfield. Just all around fits in perfectly. But yeah, I'm just rambling a little bit. I'm taking San Fran, but I'm not going to take -7. So I'm going to go Arizona plus. Was it +7?
Yeah, +7.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I like Arizona with the points. I've noticed a trend that San Francisco doesn't tend to do too hot against running quarterbacks. And in both games they played against the Cardinals last year, they were both pretty close. So I like Arizona's chances here. I'm really excited to watch the Kyler Murray storyline. So, yeah, Hopkins just got a lot of money.
He did.
Let's see if he's still motivated. I think he will be. But, yeah, go Cards. Give me the
Cards.
All right. It's about 2 more games. It's like, This is one of them. Dallas at Rams.
That's a good game.
And it's Dallas -3. I'm going Dallas both. Do I think it's going to be close? Of course. I think Dallas, they're my Cinderella, like the 49ers were last year. You know, I've been saying it's defense wins championship. Defense got gross. You got CeeDee Lamb, your third thing. You know, Rams, they got Jalen Ramsey. How good is he? Is he actually that good, or is he just all talk? Got Donald, who's always good. But I think it's to be close. You know, field goal win for Dallas washes. So yeah, I'm going Dallas -3.
For me, they played recently in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure. They're kind of both on the same.
Yeah, you're right. 2 years ago, the year they went to the Super Bowl, Rams won.
Yeah, but that was when Todd Gurley was Todd Gurley, so that's a little bit different.
Yeah,
actually, not really. He wasn't really. He was towards the decline there. But this is the thing. I love the Cowboys offense. I honestly, if you say to them the Cowboys are a top offense in the league, it doesn't really sound like crazy anymore, because like they have great receivers. Obviously, have Zeke. They have a good offensive line. They've lost some pieces, but they're still above average or good. And Prescott's he's in a great position to put up crazy numbers this year. But when you look at the Rams, they're like, I mean, Ramsey's outstanding, great corner. Obviously, you have arguably the best defensive player in the league in Aaron Donald, but they don't really like other pieces around. They're like, okay, Littleton's okay. Like, I'm going to take Dallas. I think Dallas puts up crazy numbers this game, but I mean, I don't think any of these teams, like either Dallas or the Rams, are going to go super far. But yeah, I'll take Dallas and Dallas -3.
Yeah, I like Dallas -3 here. They have a good team. I think they'll be prepared. New coach that's pretty decent. And 3 points isn't too much. I think it's a decent environment for them. And yeah, I think Dallas is a better team, so that's why I'm going with them. Offensive line is still decent. Zeke is good. Added CeeDee Lamb, so I like the spot they're in. The defense is pretty good too.
And another big thing that like really contributed towards my decisions, the Rams offense is like they don't have any running game. Like their running game's like not scary at all. I mean, Woods is great, Cooper Kupp's great, but their offense isn't really that explosive.
Yes.
Like, well, they put up like 50 plus on Monday night type offense. So they're underwhelming. So yeah.
Watch out for Cam Akers. I think he's gonna have a good year.
Cam Akers,
he can be gross, dude. Florida State running backs, they're always good.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah.
All right. 2 more games. These are both Monday night. First one we got Steelers at Giants, and it's Steelers -5.5, which is a very unique spread. I'm going Steelers both. I think Giants, Joe Judge, it sounds like he's a wizard. Sounds like he knows something no one else
Joe Judge.
Does. You know what I mean? Great. Hey, Pat's guy, you know what I mean?
So the environment, he's Steelers, the culture.
Way better than the Giants. I don't even know anything. The Giants are just getting worse. Obviously, they're getting better because, Danny Dimes getting older, you know what I mean? Yeah, but, it's the Steelers. They're always good. It's Tomlin. It's Big Ben. He's back. Maybe Juju won't be ridiculously bad. I just think it's Steelers safer pick. It's 2 field goals to hit for the spread to hit. There's no fans. Granted, I don't know how MetLife is hopping. But, yeah, I'm going Steelers -5.5, and they're going to win.
I think this is a pretty easy pick for me. I'm going to take Steelers for both. Steelers -5. And I'd say that because I'm high on Big Ben. I've always been a Big Ben guy. I think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, obviously, but I think without him last year, everything kind of crumbled on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they were outstanding. I think they had the highest percentage. I think 19% of opponents' possessions against them resulted in a turnover. So that was the highest in the NFL. That's a crazy stat. They played really well. TJ Watt was like ridiculous. So yeah, they have that defense, who I would consider a top 5 defense easily. And now you put in the quarterback who basically changes everything offensively. I think Juju's going to have a big year. I think James Conner's going to have a big year. Deontay Johnson's going to be the new, like, Robin to Juju, who's Batman. So, yeah, I'm going to take this. I think Pittsburgh has a great game. And I think Saquon's going to have a good game as well. But, I mean, they're comparing a team who is going to the upper tier roster versus a team who's kind of in a weird rebuilding spot with a young quarterback. So, yeah, that answers that. Steelers for both.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm going to be pulling for the Giants, but yeah, Steelers are really good. Big Ben back, defense is fire. 5.5 isn't too bad. So yeah, give me Pitt -5.5. Like their chances here. Prime time.
right. Here we go. Final one. And this is this one is the only one without a spread, which makes it even better. We got Tennessee going a mile high. That is the big thing right there. Tennessee's going a mile high. The Denver, the Broncos, so they're playing the Broncos. They are the only team with a home field advantage.
True.
Just this whole year. They're the only team with a home field advantage because of the altitude. And there was no spread, so it's money line. So who's just going to win? That's what it comes down to. I'm saying Denver's going to win, and obviously no spread. They're going to hit the money line. And here's my thing. They got so much better, and I am not big on Tennessee. You know, they got Clowney. Cool. Clowney hasn't been working out he hasn't been in training camp. Clowney's fat ass, tired as hell out there in Mile High. And my thing is, I think Tennessee got worse, and I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs, even an extra spot this year. So I'm going Denver's going to do both. They're going to win, and they're going to hit the money line.
I'm taking Denver as well. I think offensively they're going to be exciting to watch, and I think if Drew Lock does his end of the bargain, they'll be a good team. I think defensively they still have a great pass rush. Corners, I think they got AJ Boye, who's nice. They have a decent defense with a great pass rush. Jarrell Casey, who's older, he's a longtime Titan, so there you go. You might know the playbook or the schemes. But yeah,
all I know is right there.
Yeah, all I know is that Tennessee is a team that every year you'll look at them halfway through the year and you'll be like, oh, they're like 6 and like no, they'll be like 4-4 or like 3-5, and you forget about them. But then they get hot late and they sneak in the playoffs. But this year, I'm not too high on them either. I think Derrick Henry has a good year, but nothing near his year last year. I don't really trust Ryan Tannehill. I know he got paid. He got his extension, but I don't really trust I don't think AJ Brown's the real deal. He had a great year last year, but I don't think he's the real guy. You know what I mean? And I don't trust Tannehill. Like if you stop the run and if you stack the box, I don't look at Tannehill and be like, no. Play action game, deep ball game, like he's going to tear us apart. I just don't see it. But yeah, I'm going to take Denver because of home field and because of their new additions in the offseason.
Yeah, I was at this game last year. Denver won 16-0. Derrick Henry got shut down for under 30 yards. Mariota got benched, and that's when the Tannehill train picked up. And Denver was a completely different team with Joe Flacco under center, so a lot has changed since then. Drew Lock 4-1 in the last 5 Denver starts. So I think it's a new era in Denver. I'm really excited for Drew Lock. I think he's going to carry them to the playoffs, and I think it starts with a Week 1 win against Tennessee. Nothing against Tennessee. Tough matchup. They're going to stack the box against Derrick Henry. It's going to be tough for them. And their corners are going to be able to cover like man-to-man with like little safety help in my opinion. So I think they just match up super well against Tennessee. So nothing against Tennessee. I still think they're going to win their division, but give me Denver here.
Since you're there, you have the expert opinion, so yours holds the most weight.
And so here's my thing too with Tannehill. Just because you get paid doesn't mean you're good. Same thing with Jared Goff. Just because you get paid doesn't mean you're good.
Jared Goff isn't bad. I mean, he's just
not bad, but dude, he's like Bortles.
His mental toughness isn't there.
He's good. He's a fine quarterback. He's good enough.
Fine.
Yeah, he can sling it.
Fine.
It's a fun
he's not a winner, but he's a good quarterback. You know what I mean?
I mean, it all comes down to one game away from reaching the Super Bowl.
Denver has weapons. They got Phillip Lindsay, Melvin Gordon coming out of the backfield.
Royce Freeman's solid too. They have 3 solid backs.
You got Sutton. You got Jerry Jeudy. You got
KJ Hamler.
KJ Hamler.
I think Noah Fant develops into a solid tight end.
Okay, he's going to be be good. He just needs a year. You know what I mean? Like,
if they had a true number 1 receiver, I would look at them like
Cortland Sutton is a true number 1.
Cortland Sutton,
he's my boy. 6'4". He's
Cortland Sutton. I take like practice squad corners. Like, yeah, he'll be okay. Like he's gonna be all right.
Such cap, dude. I want to hear it.
I'm not a Cortland Sutton guy. You're never gonna have to double team him. He's all right. Just leave him there. It's like he's not gonna destroy a game.
Do you have any bold?
He did one for me in PPR last year.
Quick bold predictions before we wrap
for
this
the
up.
week. Just anything, player, game, whatever you guys think. Just a bold prediction.
All right, I'll start us off. Tom Brady leads the week in passing touchdowns, even with Mahomes playing against a garbage defense. I'm calling Tom Brady sensational. What about you guys?
What do you think, Chase?
What do you say, Mike?
I'm gonna go Kyler Murray. Gets over 300 yards passing plus rushing against the 49ers defense.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think 49ers defense is going to have
I think he's going to light him
a hard
up.
time. Yeah, I like that.
Let's hear it, Chase. What is my bold prediction going to be? I'm going to go weird right here. I'm going to say Jonathan Taylor runs for 100+ multiple touchdowns against Jacksonville.
So really? They're going to be up big, so I wouldn't be shocked. That's a good pick.
I like that too.
Think he outrushes Marlon Mack?
Oh, easy. It's going to be Jonathan Taylor's run backfield within 2 weeks. Granted, him and Marlon Mack are going to be like – it's going to be like a Pats backfield. You know, one of them is going to go off one day. I don't think Marlon Mack – I don't know. They haven't paid him yet. This is Marlon Mack. I'm pretty sure this is last year on his rookie contract. I think they're like, all right, like, it's nice knowing you, buddy. Here's $2 million a year if you want to stay. If not, like –
he is talented, though. Marlon Mack is talented. It's not like
he's really good.
Yeah,
but dude,
so.
Taylor's
different.
Taylor
isn't
different. Good. That man is gross.
Yeah. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Definitely like and subscribe if you're new and you want to be up to date with all of our uploads. We'll be on different platforms as well. So definitely consider subscribing and sharing this to your friends if they're football fans. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys later.
Peace.